You just got your asses whipped by a bunch of nerds. Nerds!
This is it. We're finally here. The final season of The Boys. And will they find a way to beat and end Homelander? Thank you so much for joining the Nerds Podcast. Pete and I are both here, and I know we both love The Boys. And of course, we'll be discussing season 5, and of course, the first 2 episodes, 15 Inches of Sheer Dynamite. I think that's because of Love Sausage, Pete. And of course, Teenage Kix. These names are phenomenal. We open up with the whistle of tea, Pete, and it's probably because we're it. This is the boiling point, Pete, and I don't know what else we can do here. But listen, Pete, I know we never get political here, and the show, for the most part, what we do, I think it would be an injustice to our show if we didn't see the parallels of Daredevil and The Boys and this art imitating life, Pete. Any thoughts on that at all?
It's uncanny that, I mean, I don't know if the goal was to do that, but they've definitely achieved it, because both of these shows definitely show like art imitating life, in the sense where, like you said, we don't get too political, but what's going on in the real world right now is kind of happening on these shows that we're watching.
100% agree with you. Like I said, it's like it's not even uncanny how much stuff of this stuff is relating to. But again, I just want to make sure that if you're thinking it as fans, we're thinking it as well, and I just don't want to ignore that portion of it at all. But we open up with the VOT International Annual Meeting of Shareholders. Pete, Homelander is giving the only hoorah speech. And of course, Starlight and her people, they are trying to upload a video, and it is out there for the public. Flight 37. And for a moment, I thought Homelander was going to cook everybody. But what are your initial thoughts that now this video was out in the open?
That's his way to get out of it, because these people seen it. Unless it was being televised, okay, I gotta off everybody in the room so no one can talk about this. But he's so unhinged. It's kind of funny, because the littlest thing, every little thing bothers him, and not bothers him like annoys him, bothers him to the sense that he's about to just erupt. And again, we've seen what happened when he loses his cool. He'll laser somebody's face off or whatever it is, but they usually get the lasers when somebody pushes him to that breaking point. But oh yeah, that was the only way out. I thought he was going to do it, but then when they use the excuse of AI, that's always that going forward is going to be everybody's way out of stuff, because what you can do with AI these days is insane. But that's going to be everybody's. You're going to get caught. People are going to get caught with their hand in the cookie jar, and that's going to be their way out. AI.
What happens in the dark always comes out into the starlight. But of course, Sage, you're absolutely right. Completely save them with this whole AI disinformation stuff. Again, load of crap, but I mean, they even desensitize it with the whole TikTok dance above it. Pete, that was absolutely crazy to me. But we get into Ashley. Pete, she's moved up. She's moved up in the world. I mean, she was an order taker. Then she became president of VOT. Now she's vice president of the United States. And this is coming off Homelander's kill list. What did you think of Ashley kind of moving up?
We've seen that before, like people gradually, like, I mean, not that it's the same thing, but the commissioner of the National Football League was an intern at one point, I think. So yes. You can move up. I mean, I guess you have to stay at it and don't know what Ashley did to actually get to be vice president, but she's definitely I've seen, you've seen it before. There's stories like that out there.
Yeah, she can now read minds, Pete. I think that's her superpower
Yep.
now. I mean, who would have thunk it? Of course, last time we saw her, she had just plugged herself with that compound V in the final season. I'm sorry, in the season prior to that. But yeah, I gotta give props to Ashley here. She's doing a really good job. And now we get to a point where we're showing us these camps that Huey and Frenchie and Mother's Milk are in. And Pete, did you laugh when they were wearing Homelander merch? I did.
Oh, listen, this is the life imitating art again, or art imitating life again. Yeah, it's. I read an article that this wasn't their intention to kind of copy that, but it's happening again. This is something that was filmed last year, so we're seeing it now, and it's kind of happening in real time as well. So it's ironic.
This is like, you know how the Simpsons foretell everything?
100%.
A little bit of that is here as well. Listen, I was dying, Pete, like laughing. The conversation between Sage and Homelander, and of all the things that he's worried about the memes. To think that, you know, people obsess over these things even nowadays. So again, it's not a reality. There are some things that nature. He's upset. He was promised Caesar, and he is so worried about being liked that he probably doesn't even know that the 90+% approval rate is probably more fear than anything else. And I know he wants love, but it has to be that fear is over conquering all of this. Am I right, Pete?
Yes, because like I said, he's super unhinged, and he shows it. He's a great actor. He's playing the part.
Well, Anthony
extremely well.
Starr. Again, I don't know, Pete. I apologize that I don't know this, but was he ever nominated for an Emmy on this stuff? I don't even know. We'd have to fact check this, but
I don't know, to be quite honest. But the same way we spoke about people frowning upon animation, maybe the people who make these decisions kind of frown upon superhero shows. Look, it's not, what the Joker. Those are the only roles that people have won for. It seems like. So I don't know. I couldn't tell you. He does. We are fans of Homelander. He's the meme king, like Leonardo DiCaprio. Like, you're gonna see a meme of Homelander somewhere, because it, for some reason, it just fits all the way the way he behaves in the show. He's so unhinged. He's always got like watery eyes, that he's on the brink of crying. But no, he's awesome. He's amazing.
I know you and I both use the perfect
Yeah.
meme a lot for him, so I'll put that out there. Frenchie dealing contraband, bro. He doesn't stay away from making people feel good, because he's he's a chef in that sense when it comes to another. The fact that he's using his deeper, I found that hilarious. They're using a deep book to do it. But Pete, Huey's a little different, right? I mean, he knocked out a guy to protect Frenchie real quick because he was about to get jigged.
Yes.
Did you find Huey different in the show?
He seems a little off. I think it could, and then we find out later he seems a little not himself, because of what's the relationship with Starlight, maybe a little bit fractured, but that's what it seems like to me. There's something going on with him, but I think it has to do with Starlight as well.
I gotta mention it. The actor Laz Alonso, who plays Mother's Milk, and listen, I gotta say, he looks so different than when we first started this show. He either is on the Ozempic diet or he is just on a different diet. But he looks small at this point. Am I saying it wrong? I hate to say this, but again, and I love how he plays Mother's Milk, but I gotta say, it just doesn't even look good.
No, it doesn't. It looks like, when you see someone who's lost too much weight, of course, nowadays people will bring up Ozempic, but then you also think, oh, is that person sick? Obviously, if he was sick, he probably wouldn't be working on the show, but maybe just lost too much weight, but it's noticeable, and that's why you're bringing it up. But
Yeah,
I'm sure
we're
we're not the only ones who've really noticed it and wondered, why did he lose so much weight? But it's it's 100% noticeable.
Yeah, again, I'm just gonna notice everything. Just talking as a fan guy, I'm not saying. Look. Shout out to Laz if he's losing that weight on his own. I mean, he still looks great, but it just looks so different from who the character really is. But he may need to bulk up because Love Sausage is out there in this encampment, Pete, and he sees them outside. Like he has his eyes on them. Correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't he the one that apprehended Mother's Milk at the end of season 4?
Yeah, that's why when he saw them when they were in the camp, when they were in the concentration camp, that's why he gave him a long stare, because I believe he's the one who splooged on him.
He has a history.
Yeah.
There's a lot of history.
Exactly. They have a history. So
between Love Sausage and Mother's Milk, these names, I couldn't even make this up if I wanted to. Pete, I did find it a little crazy that Butch went over to his dad's house to kind of end him. Like, it was an awkward moment for me watching this show that Butch would actually go all the way just to kill his dad. Like, did you have any sentiment or like wow on this moment?
No, and I guess because there's so many other moments that get me like that. This was tame compared to what they've done on this show in these 5 seasons. So I would think in any other show it would be one of those that you kind of like, wow, they they're pushing the line here. But on this show, that was tame compared to what they've done.
Agreed. Yeah, no, definitely agreed. Kimoko is out in the Philippines. She's kind of hiding out. We kind of catch her there. And Lee, Kimo gets to find out that Huey, French, and M are about to kill within 72 hours. Butch is there. Pete, she talks now. So were you shocked by any form of fashion that she speaks now?
No, I don't know if this is something that's reflected in the comics. Let's not forget this is a comic book.
Yeah.
I'm not surprised, maybe just shocked that they waited to the last season for her to have any type of dialogue.
Listen, it was because she's been learning from social media, the things that blur out her mouth. I'm not going to spoil it for anybody. You're just going to have to watch this one. She's pretty good with her voice. Pete, shout out to the Manhandled podcast that the Deep and Black Noir have. I found that particularly funny. And then, of course, Butch and Kamiko link up with Annie, and they set up a breakout for the most part for the boys. And we get back to Homelander. And at this point, he's believing his own lie, Pete, about Flight 37. He calls in the Deep and Black Noir. Kind of sends them off on their own mission. And he's having some daddy issues, of course, because he has his dad's body frozen in his apartment for the most part. Pete, any thoughts on that for the most part, that he's doing all this with his frozen dad in his apartment?
Well, Homelander is the weirdo. I mean, look at the with the breast milk, his addiction to that. He's a certified weirdo. So him having that there, it didn't register for me. Like, it's out of the ordinary because he's a weirdo.
His dad's first question to him, I'm not gonna even say it.
Yeah, it's not X-rated.
He found it weird as well. But Pete, before we get into that, I want to say something about Ashley. And I had to pause it for a moment because I was laughing. She's married to a superhero called Oh Father. And I know he's like this far-right superhero preacher. But please tell me I wasn't the only one laughing at this.
He's an evangelist. I guess a super evangelist. But one thing about this show is, and to go 5 seasons with the show, with all the ridiculously that, look, Love Sausage. If you've watched the show, you know what he is. And then now we have a superpowered evangelist. They had a daredevil type character named Blind Spot.
Yeah, they did.
And they were trying to recruit him into the 7, and Homelander flipped, and of course he killed him. He did kill him, right? I know he smashed his.
Yeah, he's dead.
He killed
He's
him.
dead. He's
so
dead.
it's you have to like expect a lot. So this to me is like, okay, that's different, but it's on par with what they've done here. And again, we've talked about this privately. Like, we've seen some of the most gut-wrenching scenes in this show that it was one of those, wow, I gotta look away. That's how bad it's been. But they always cross the line. So not surprised by anything they say, any type of dialogue. Yeah, like you said, the first thing that Soldier Boy, who has no filter, who has zero filter.
Love Soldier Boy, by the way.
He said what he said to Homelander after he was cryogenically frozen. He opened the door to let him out. The first thing out of his mouth is just X-rated, and like I said, he's got no filter. But it's a good character as well. Jensen Ackles plays him great.
Oh,
but yeah, Soldier Boy, I like Soldier Boy as well. But I didn't think anything of him having that in his room because, like I said, he's a weirdo. He's a weirdo.
I always wonder if they give them like freedom to act out how they want to act out these characters, knowing how crazy this can be. But Pete, let's get a little uncomfortable. We meet another superhero named Worm, who apparently eats dirt, creates holes, and then shoots him out of his ass. There's no way to even hide this anymore. And they need him for the breakout that they're doing for the boys. Pete, I know this show, of course, creates the craziest superpowers. You just said it yourself. Does anything still shock you on this show anymore?
Yeah, that one shocked me because I saw him eating the dirt he grabbed it from the plant and started eating his dirt. And I said, okay, I get it. Okay, he's like, his name is Worm, right? So he's gonna, but then when he got there and just ripped off his pants, and I said, why is he doing that?
He had no penis.
And then, yeah, he started burrowing, and whatever he was ingesting was in one way and out the
other. Like I said, can't make this stuff up. I've been dying to cover this show on this podcast, of course. But, you know, and at one point we may do a rewatch of the other episodes on this because I know you guys love our opinions, but this is just great. Okay, Pete, A-Train meets up with Annie and Kamiko. He says, no, I am not joining this at all. I want to protect my family. And while the boys are kind of doing their own thing, Pete, what was your reaction when Huey went back to the camp house? Homelander is there, pretty much killed everybody in there and was waiting for him. Tell me, like, damn, like I thought this was not going to happen and we're going to have a clean breakaway, but that wasn't happening, Pete. Walk me through your thoughts.
It's amazing how he hasn't snapped and killed one of them yet because he's had him there. And
it's not for lack of trying. It's not for lack of trying.
And because he's so unhinged and so, like you said, worried about being liked, and these people threaten that. The boys threaten what he ultimately wants is, you know, to be adored and praised by everybody, and they challenge that. And the fact that he hasn't just said, you know what, laser everybody, and like he did, look like he did in when Huey got back to the camp, everybody was dead. He killed everybody that lived in that camp. So I'm surprised he hasn't gotten to them yet. And I feel there's something holding him back at times, but it's odd that these guys have escaped with their lives, even though I think he was about to do it this time.
Maybe it's a little bit of the question that Homelander did ask Huey. Like he said, you have no superpowers. You're a nobody for the most part. Why is Annie, why is Butch willing to risk their lives for you? And the answer that Huey tells him that, you know, that I would do the same for them.
Awesome.
Knowing that Homelander is selfish, Pete, and he would never do for someone else what people out of fear do for him. That was the crusher. Am I right?
Yeah, without a doubt. When he said that, that was a whoa right there. Like,
Yeah, like the gut punch we call it, right,
Yeah.
Pete? The gut punch. We get a great scene with Reggie and A Train. He's telling him that you're a superhero now. They're disrupted by the deep, with the seagulls buzzing around. Really dope how they did that. And Pete, the minute that he said, "I'm always gonna hunt your family," I would have killed him right there. Like I would have used super speed, put my hands through him or something. But I guess Adrian kind of saw him as a friend. What would you have done?
I guess you got to have it in you. He's not that type. Remember when he killed Huey's girlfriend? That wasn't on purpose. That was a mistake. Homelander's a killer. A Train is not.
That's in a nutshell. A-Train at this point has become a superhero, so I don't think he wants to ever go down that dark path. Pete, did you laugh when Homelander said, "I didn't know this one's name was Mother's Milk," and then licked his lips? That was so demonic. I don't know what you want to call it. Did you laugh?
Of course, and when they offered Soldier Boy a drink, and he said, "Let me get a Manhattan," and they said, "Do you want a milk?" And he said, "No, no, like no, I want a Manhattan as
And that
well."
was to the president, Pete. That was
Yes,
crazy. They're absolutely right. Starlight kind of comes in, creates that chaos. And, we have this scene, Pete. And I know I was thinking of you in this scene, but A Train shows up, has a change of heart, and he does the 2014 X-Men movie, Days of Future Past.
yes,
Evan Peters playing the Quicksilver, of course. And he saves Huey because Homelander was done with Huey at that point.
yes.
Were you thinking the same thing? I mean, even up to the Superman and Flash chase off at the end. Pete, what were you thinking? I'm sorry, I probably ranted a little too much.
No, no, that was exactly what I thought. I was like, well, this is Days in Future Past right here. But it's a dope scene. The biggest form of flattery, imitation is the biggest form of flattery. So them copying that scene is a nod to that movie and that scene.
What did you think of the chase of A Train versus Homelander?
Kind of showing that Homelander does have that type of speed as well. To catch, and he said, "Look, you can catch the I caught the A Train." I guess that was like his catchphrase or something like that. But
Yeah.
yeah, he caught the A Train and he really caught it.
There was a part of that, Pete, that took me back, of course, to the first episode where he dodged the girl, Robin. I mean, Robin, he went right through her, but he dodged the girl
Oh
to
yeah,
avoid what happened in the first
yeah, yeah.
episode. You saw that as well. Again, I just thought that there's some great genius writing to this, that how we were introduced to A Train to how this all ended for A Train was, again, just a full complete circle, that the reason why Homelander got him was because he tried to not commit the same atrocity that he did in the first episode within the first 5 minutes, I want to say, to get this. So it is goodbye to A Train. Pete, any thoughts on A Train?
So think about what Pooba was just saying is that, so in the very first episode, A Train completely runs through somebody and annihilates them. It's the equivalent of you bumping into somebody, but of course, at the speed that he's going, he completely obliterated this person, which happened to be Huey, his girlfriend, and that's why he decided to join this fight against the Supes. But like Pooba was saying, when he's running away from Homelander, he has that opportunity to kind of avoid somebody so he doesn't do the same thing that he did in that very first episode. And it cost him.
It did cost him. Shout out to A Train. You made a good point at the end. I think, again, same thing like Huey. When he talked about it, A Train also laid into some words that are going to haunt Homelander for quite some time. And of course, we get to episode 2. There's a funeral that starts. Ashley must also feel guilty, Pete, because she could have ran off with A Train, and this could have been her. So she might have made the right decision just to live longer, if that's the case. Oh, Father is preaching at this thing. I'm laughing the whole time. Of course, attacking the Starlight people and using those kind of words that create hate. for the most part. We get Samir back, of course, Pete, and he's a little confused because Butch is lying to him, saying that it was Homelander that killed his wife and it was Butch this whole time. But they get into a plan to set the virus to a guy named Hard Rock or Rock Hard. Sorry, Rock Hard is the guy's name. Of course. Okay, Pete, for Rock Hard, give me a reference, DC, Marvel, doesn't matter, that this person comes to mind.
So he kind of had a look of Ben Grimm, the Thing, but I kind of had a Mojo type. Mojo from X-Men, the body type he had, but the texture was like of Ben Grimm, the Thing. It was like a mashup of the two. That's how I saw it.
I love that. I love that. A little bit maybe of Luke Cage there because his skin was hard to penetrate, but he's a teenager and he's a nasty teenager because he's shooting out lava as jizz, so it's gross.
But the setting is in like a content creator house, right? Like one of those things. That's what it is. I mean, yeah. I know they're trying to put that social media aspect of what we live in now. That social media world is something that they definitely push into this show. To show it because it's like a realistic take. Like they're dealing with corporate. They worry about what their approval rating is amongst fans. So you saw the commercial that the Deep was doing.
Yes. So shout out to the Deep because there's a problem with you, my friend.
Yeah, he's got issues. But look, props to him. He's lasted 5 seasons, and he should have been gone a long time ago. But the Rock Hard was in the basement of this content house. I guess a house where there's a whole bunch of different content creators. But yeah, go ahead.
And he was getting off on volcanoes erupting. Yeah. Listen, guys, I'm not gonna hide it. This is some great stuff. Like you can't even make this stuff up.
This is not for kids.
Yeah, no, definitely not for kids. Homelander unfreezes his dad, and I think it's because he told A-Train that I was like a big brother to you when he had a big brother. It was just the weirdest thing because Homelander, like you say, is super unhinged, and he wants this idea of family. So what does he do? He unfreezes his dad for the most part. And Pete, I gotta tell you, the scene where his dad asked him, "Did you like molest me?" The whole conversation, I can't tell you, bro. Like the banter here is probably just as good as like movies like The Hangover. The banter is just the best. Am I right?
It's because Soldier Boy is no filter on him, none at all. And he is, and we got to remember he's from back. It's kind of like Captain America. He was frozen. He's from a different time period. So he's supposed to be like Captain America, I'm guessing.
Yes.
But he's not, of course, he's not a hero like that. But I guess some of his storyline is very similar to Captain America. But yeah, no filter whatsoever. That's what makes the banter with his son, which he's a clone. He's not really his son. He's a clone, correct?
Yes, absolutely correct.
It's not dad and son. It's kind of like, he's been cloned from him. But the banter is a little risque because of
we get the I want to say call them the Teen Kix. They're like the Teen Titans parody, I guess, for the most part. Yeah. And of course they make their money via influencing and advertisers. We get to meet I want to say She-Lion and Jetstreak and Countess Crow. And of course, Countess Crow is like, I want to say Raven, right, Pete?
Could be.
All right. I just want to give them
an analogy. Right. I didn't think of it when I was watching it. I'm trying to figure out who these people are. But like you said, they were content creators that lived in the house with Rock Hard. So that was a whole. You're right. That's a whole. I guess like a Teen Titans type thing. But they're real heavy into social media. So Jetstreak had a whole bunch of advertisers on his.
Yes.
He had like a flight suit on. And
everything bought. Yeah.
Yes.
Of course, Sage now starts a campaign. She wants to round up an additional like 10,000 Starlight supporters. She's telling the vice president, of course, that there's, and at this point, they're nothing more than puppets for Homelander. And it's just horrible. And that scene that you talked about with the milk, Soldier Boy said, he said, since when do we teabag the president, the soups teabag the president? Homelander's response is perfect since me. But again, I got to talk about these things because it's just phenomenal on this show. Soldier Boy becomes number 2, Pete, on the 7, and I think the 7 is nothing more than a thing now. It's not even like a glorified thing anymore. But again, we have Annie going through her thing. Frenchie's consoling her, talking about the sacrifices that are being made in general, and he uses a great line saying he's the heavyweight champion of torturing himself over lives lost. I love that comment completely. But then, Pete, we get to a showdown, and it is Soldier Boy against Butch. And of course, Butch's new powers. But Pete, he's able to trace him because his alias is Dante Be a Cunt. What did you think of the showdown between Soldier Boy and Butch?
Well, it's cool because it all led back. They had a trap set for. They didn't know it was him because they didn't think he was alive, but they did have a trap set because they wanted to test out the virus. And they were all shocked to see him. But yeah, it was funny that he said, yeah, you used the same alias.
Ashley has a different face in the back.
Oh my God.
That was new. I didn't see that one coming at all.
Neither did
that
I.
is part of that mutation that we saw at the end of season 4. Sage still likes her Taco Bell, I guess. And that's fine. But let's talk about the trap real quickly, Pete. The virus works. They're able to kill off Rock Hard and Jetstreak. And of course, we end with Mother's Milk letting Countess Crow go. Maybe this benefits them somewhere down the road. And we thought that this was the ending of Soldier Boy, Pete. Did you think the same thing?
So yeah, they had them all locked in a room. The virus was doing its thing. Homelander shows up, of course, because the aftermath of the, Rock Hard is dead. His head freaking collapsed and exploded. Jetstreak, like you said, and Soldier Boy were trapped in the room. Homelander shows up, and the Deep is there as well. He pisses off Homelander so much that he's about to, again, laser him. His eyes just, light up. The Deep pisses his pants, which is hilarious.
I think you said I was swimming or something.
Yeah, hilarious. He is so scared of Homelander. Like it's, and they act so well, both of them together. Yeah. They definitely play off one another. But he, as unhinged as Homelander portrays himself, the Deep is really good at being completely just terrified of him. But that scene ends, and then they have they have Soldier Boy on a stretcher, and what happens? He sits up. So
yeah, he does the Undertaker. He did the Undertaker. The Undertaker gets up as well. I'm curious because now he knows that his son or his clone set him up. Like they told him what was going on. So this is going to create a super rift. I am so into this already.
Do you think he set him up? Do you really think he set him up, or he just wanted him to work with him?
I think he didn't think it through.
That's what I'm asking.
Yeah, I don't think he think it through, but Sage did kind of point it out to him. Okay, it's tactical. Like you're doing this on purpose. I get it. Kind of put it in his head. But also we can't deny Butch also put it in Soldier Boy's head as well. Oh, your son used you. So again, there is going to be a rift, right? Regardless of what it is, there's going to be 2 different rifts. I'm super excited to see it, Pete. I know you are as well. Great opening first 2 episodes. Am I right?
Yes.
Okay. Now, if you enjoyed the conversation, please do us a favor. Like this video. Don't forget to hit that bell so you can get the latest videos. And the best thing you could ever do is subscribe. Thank you, guys. Until next week.
The worst episode ever.